Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers, all the newest free agent and trade additions. So, this offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers have added many players to this roster, have had many changeover, and with that comes different players wearing different jersey numbers. So in this video, all the new players that we've added that haven't been covered so far, their jersey number is revealed for this upcoming year. And also some background information of who last worn that number as a Pittsburgh Steeler and maybe why it's important in Steelers history. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, from Jaylen Ramsay to Kenneth Gainwell switching his jersey number to just the undrafted free agents coming over, the Pittsburgh Steelers are giving out jersey numbers. And let's start off with the newest addition in Jaylen Ramsay, because Jaylen Ramsay will continue to wear the jersey number he's been wearing the last few seasons with the Los Angeles Rams and with the Miami Dolphins. And that number is number 5. So he'll be wearing number 5 for this upcoming year. And the last player who wore that jersey number for the Pittsburgh Steelers was Cameron Johnston, the punter. And he was still actually listed as number 5 on the Pittsburgh Steelers for this upcoming season. But he has decided to give it up to Jaylen Ramsay, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have just announced this today. So, just like Carlos Waitman, a punter had to give up their jersey number. And if you remember, Aaron Rodgers will be wearing number 8 for this upcoming year. And the punter was targeted once again, because that was Carlos Waitman's jersey number, and he had to give it up. So both punters had to switch their jersey number for this upcoming year, allowing Jaylen Ramsay to be number 5 and Aaron Rodgers to be number 8. So, in a corresponding move, a player by the name of cornerback Deshaun Jameson also previously wore number 5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but since this move has been made for Jaylen Ramsay to wear number 5, his updated number is now number 17. We're still waiting on Cameron Johnston and some other players, but Jaylen Ramsay, that's his number. So, number 5 has been worn by multiple quarterbacks in Pittsburgh Steelers history, including Joshua Dobbs, Bruce Gradkowski, and Terry Hantray. It also has been worn by multiple special teamers, including Johnson, Paul Ernster during the 3 games with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2008, and David Trout in 1987, and also Craig Colquitt. So, Jaylen Ramsay will be the first primary defensive player to wear number 5 in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. Tight end Jonnu Smith, who was acquired alongside Jaylen Ramsay number, has not been revealed yet. So when that comes out, I'll be sure to let you know. But number 9, in which he wore with the Miami Dolphins, is taken by Chris Boswell. And you're not going to be expecting Chris Boswell to give up his number anytime soon, as one of the best Pittsburgh Steelers currently on the roster. So usually the special teamers give up their jersey numbers for newly acquired players and newly acquired talent, but that's not going to be Chris Boswell, because Chris Boswell is known as number 9. Just to look into the future as well, Cameron Johnston that is, he will need to switch his jersey number. It's not announced yet, but he previously wore number 1 and number 11 in his career. And while number 1 is open, it's not a jersey number the Pittsburgh Steelers give out, and Brandin Johnson is currently wearing number 11. But he may be off the roster pretty soon, so number 11 may be open, so expect that. But anyway, let's move over to some other players confirmed that we know the jersey numbers of so far for the new additions to this team. You look at Carlos Waitman. I mentioned that he switched his jersey number when Aaron Rodgers arrived and wanted number 8. He willingly gave it up right away, didn't ask for no money from Aaron Rodgers, and he decided, hey, I'm going to switch to number 3. So, Carlos Waitman is now number 3 for this upcoming year. He's obviously going to be in a position battle with Cameron Johnston for the starting punter role. And for the punter on this team, he may be off the team, who knows? He may be on the practice squad, or he may be the starter. But when looking at number 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously it was last worn by Russell Wilson last season. And he's a player who only played 1 season here, and a quarterback who we expected big things from. It didn't really work out too well, but he will wear number 3. In terms of previous punters who wore number 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you remember Brad Wing, when he was here shortly, and he's the left-footed punter, and he had to fill in for some injuries. He wore number 3, and also some other special teamers and some history within the franchise. You remember the kicker, Jeff Reed, he wore number 3, and that's probably the most notable one who wore that jersey number. So, Carlos Waitman will now be number 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, enough with that. Let's move over to the next player, Robert Woods. Because Robert Woods signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers a few months ago, and he's a veteran on this team. And with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he will wear number 16. And when looking at 16 in the Pittsburgh Steelers history, it is a number last assigned to wide receiver Quez Watkins. Although Watkins never appeared in a game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that was the last player to wear that jersey number, or at least be given that jersey number. In terms of the history, Miles Jack wore the number during his 4-game stint with the Steelers in 2023, and it was most notably worn by quarterback Charlie Batch from 2003 to 2012. So, one of the best backup quarterbacks in Pittsburgh Steelers history, and now Robert Woods is assigned that jersey number. He'll be entering his 13th season in the Pittsburgh Steelers, and hopefully he makes that jersey number good, because it's an addition to this team and someone who we hope big things for in terms of a solid route runner added to this roster, and another target for Aaron Rodgers. So Robert Woods is now number 16 with the Steelers. So, covering a number switch, if you remember Kenneth Gainwell, as soon as George Pickens got traded away from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys, Kenneth Gainwell immediately claimed the jersey number 14 last worn by George Pickens. So Kenneth Gainwell will be number 14 for this upcoming year. And that's a number switch, which obviously the Steelers immediately gave out after George Pickens left. So, some other players the Pittsburgh Steelers have given numbers to, I'm going to just go through it quickly, is running back Trey Sermon. He'll be wearing number 27 for this upcoming year. You also look at running back Max Hurleman. He'll be wearing number 34 for this upcoming year. And also offensive tackle Gareth Warren. He'll be wearing number 69. And if you remember, 69 was Kevin Dotson's number. So that's some jersey numbers for the newest Pittsburgh Steelers that were signed this offseason. Now, looking at some undrafted free agent rookies that the Pittsburgh Steelers signed, I covered just the regular rookies, the draft picks, but for the undrafted players, like wide receiver Roc Taylor, he'll wear number 81 for the team, which was obviously last worn last season by McCollum Pruitt. You also look at fullback DJ Thomas Jones. He'll be wearing number 48, which was last worn by Ad Adiji. Also looking at the undrafted guy in Sebastian Castro, he'll be wearing 29 for this upcoming year, which was last worn by Aaron Shamklin, and obviously Ryan Watts, who was a draft pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers last season, who dealt with some neck injuries, and the Pittsburgh Steelers had to let go, and I'm pretty sure he had to decide to retire because of them. So number 29 goes to Castro. Looking at offensive lineman Aiden Williams, he'll wear number 71, which last season was worn by Nate Herbig. Nate Herbig is a player who's supposed to be the starting center for the Pittsburgh Steelers last season, and getting injured. Zach Frazier took over, but 71 was Nate Herbig's, and now it's Aiden Williams. So, looking at kicker Ben Sauls, someone from Pitt, he'll be wearing number 29, and he'll be sharing that number as of right now with Sebastian Castro. So those two will be sharing it. Looking at tight end JJ Galbreath, number 87 is his jersey number for this upcoming season, and that was last worn actually quite some time ago by Ronnie Williams. You remember that name? Ronnie Williams. So it's been that long since someone wore jersey number 87, but now it's JJ's. So the final player I'll be covering in this video is wide receiver Keshan Williams. He'll be wearing number 85 for this upcoming year, and that number was last worn by Eric Ebron. So once again, it's been quite some time since 85 was worn. Eric Ebron, he was a big touchdown threat for the Steelers, a playmaker who maybe had some questionable hands at sometimes, but 85 will now be Williams. So that does it. Those are all the jersey numbers as of right now that I didn't cover so far this offseason for all the new free agent undrafted guys, signings, and trade additions to this roster. When new ones come out and we get the updates, I may make a short on it, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But anyway, these are the new numbers for the new guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on these jersey numbers. Do you like them? Are you going to purchase any of these numbers for these new players, like maybe Jaylen Ramsay, Aaron Rodgers, or anyone else? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And would you have picked a different number if you're any of these guys? So, that's it for the video, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, everything surrounding this team. Be sure to stay tuned for, because training camp starts on July 24th, and all highlights and all analysis of every practice, every new player, every current player will be covered on this channel, alongside some inside leaks that nobody else can see. So stay tuned for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. This is the best spot for it. But until the next video tomorrow, I'll see you guys all later. That's it for me. I'm out. Peace.